Hi, boredom here. Just kidding. I hope. I think that a good description of boredom that I thought is what happens when your mind wants to escape your body. It feels wrong, it feels uncomfortable because there's this discrepancy between motivation and action. Your mind much rather be creating, connecting, learning, making a video. But yet here you are, not moving towards your goal or any goal, not living your values. But we are taught really early on that we shouldn't feel discomfort. We shouldn't be we shouldn't feel bad and we should distract ourselves. Something that I thought is we are taught to chain our mind. We learn to chain our mind. Like if we were like a crying kid at a restaurant, like an iPad kid, here's your iPad, just shut up. I don't know if you know this, but the main purpose of the evolution of the brain is not your feelings, it's not your emotions, it's not for you to think or reason. It is for you to move, for movement. It's not even for regulation. I mean, plants do just fine without a brain. If you think about it, emotions wouldn't have any sense if you couldn't move. Why be afraid if we can't escape, or why wish for something if we cannot chase it? And actually, emotion, motivation, they all come from the same root, which it's motione, something like that, which means movement. So the purpose of emotions is to move you, to make certain behaviors more likely. If you still have doubts about this, just think about sponges. When sponges are young, or they move around, they have a brain, so they move around until they settle, until they find like a rock, I guess, where they will stay the rest of their lives. So when they settle, they actually digest their brains because brains are really costly. And if you don't really need them, you shouldn't keep them. So they digest their brain and they don't ever move again. I think human brain is 2% of the weight and it takes like 20% of the energy. So that's why I think that boredom it's kind of the same as pain. It has the purpose of moving us just in a different way. When we are bored, it's as if we were standing in scalding concrete, really hot concrete. I don't know if I said that right. And we feel pain, so we move to the shadow or we move somewhere else. And when we're bored, it's like our brain is in pain because it's, I don't know, not working. So if we don't move from the pavement, our feet are gonna get burned. But in this modern environment, we learn to blunt our sensations. It's as if we would take morphine for the pain in our feet when we are standing in the hot concrete instead of moving. I mean, we would not feel pain, but our feet would still get burned. And I think something like that happens with boredom. Our brain is telling us, you're not creating, you're not working towards goals that promote your fitness. And instead of listening, instead of moving from the hot concrete, we take morphine, we take digital drugs, or sometimes literal drugs. So we can turn off the boredom. There's this thing called I think it's called the Chesterton Wall, and it's a thought exercise about if you're walking, let's say, through a desert and you find a wall, you shouldn't destroy it until you know what's the purpose because it could be important. It's something like happened with I forgot how they call it, tonsils. Like tonsils, people would remove them because they thought they didn't do anything. And I think that's what happening with boredom. In reality, boredom had a real purpose to move us to create so we could achieve mating, relations, creation, survival, shelter construction, fitness improvement, getting stronger, stuff like that. But in this modern environment, we use TikTok, we use shorts, we use Instagram, video games, iPads, anything we want to, in order to avoid boredom. We never look at it and see, okay, what is this feeling telling me? I just don't like it, so I avoid it. And we lose this push that it would give us to create. And to be honest, I think this explains why art is not that good anymore, or music, or movies. Everything is just a distraction. We're always playing, always listening to something, whatever. We are afraid to look this boredom in the eye. And the irony of this is that if we would look at it, we would notice that it's not that bad, that it's just something that here to help us. When you accept it and look at it, we could get some wisdom from it. And if you think about it, the biggest market in the world is boredom medicine. That's why we always trying to look for something. The day of the whatever, the day of this new season, this game, this movie, everything. Because it keep us distracted. And if some people, maybe this is going too far, but I do think that, I don't know if it's on purpose, but if you keep people distracted, they're never gonna create. They're never gonna chase what's valuable. Boredom. It's like this, maybe this fire inside that makes you look at your surroundings and motivates you to change what is wrong. So if you're always chasing the new video, the new song, the new movie, the new show, the new drug, the new food, look at all the fast food, like special editions. Every other week they have something new to distract you. And to be honest, I think that's the reason. There used to be these practices like in Japan, the road of Kumono, something like that, that you would take a walk for days alone in nature with your thoughts, with your mind, and you would really get to understand yourself, I guess. They also have this in Spain that it's called the Road of Santiago. And speaking of the Chesterton Wall, these religious traditions, the more and more I learn, the more and more I see them as ways to promote your mind and your whatever. So anyway, that's my video. Goodbye.